Do your legs always look wrong no matter how much you tweak them? Do they float, hang, or attach at weird angles? Today I'm going to show you one common reason this happens, and how to fix it. Most leg problems don't come from the legs at all, they come from the pelvis. If the pelvis isn't constructed properly, the legs will never plug in cleanly. And yeah, the pelvis can feel intimidating because the real anatomy is complex and the connections aren't visually obvious. So in this video, I'm going to give you a simple, clear way to visualize the pelvis in 3D, and specifically how the legs attach to it. I'm only covering the pelvis leg connection here. If you want the full torso breakdown, I have a separate long form video for that. Feel free to check it out. Everything starts with this underwear shape. If you can build this in 3D, you can draw the pelvis in any angle, and from there, slotting in the legs becomes easy. Now I want you to remember this shape, the triangle landmark. This triangle represents the front portion of the iliac crest and how it flows down into the lower pelvis. This is the key landmark that tells you exactly where the legs attach. I want you to think of the pelvis as a bowl or a cylinder with a rounded bottom. Either works. Now that the basic structure of the pelvis is clear, let's build on top of it. I'll show you how to construct the underwear shape we talked about earlier, and then how to plug the legs into it in a way that actually reads in your character drawings. So we're going to start with the bowl shape of the pelvis. I'm going to find the triangular shape we discussed earlier, which again starts at the iliac spine. This will be roughly 3 to 4 fingers in height, but it can vary depending on the individual. I'm drawing through the top section of the pelvis right now so you can see the shape of the cylinder. Doing this will also help us find the side and back of the pelvis in relation to this landmark. Now I'm going to finish up the sides of that triangle. Notice that I leave a gap at the very bottom of this triangle. Now we're going to create the corners of this triangular shape and create that underwear shape that the legs can slot into. To better illustrate what's happening, I'm drawing through the shape in green. This is roughly where the legs will slot into the pelvis. Now I'm slotting in the legs, which are basically a modified cylinder shape. Notice we left that gap in the triangular landmark for a reason. This way there's a gap in between both legs. Next, we're going to get into the side view. Remember how we drew that line to find the back of the pelvis earlier? We're using that same line here to know where to position the corner of the triangular landmark. From this angle, we are only going to see the corner of the triangular shape, as the rest of what we saw earlier is now the side view and obscured by the turn of the pelvis. I draw in that side of the triangular shape, and then the socket of the legs. We're forming that underwear shape, but now from side view. Just like earlier, now that we've found the socket of the legs, we will plug them in. From the side view, there will be a section where the leg breaks away from the forms of the gluteus maximus, and I will draw this break in the shape. Now I'm going to go over with the second pass and clean up the line drawing. We're now going to draw the pelvis in 3/4 view. To do this angle correctly, we have to imagine the shape as a simplified box. And like a box, we need to find the front and side planes of this form. I find the corner of the pelvis, then I find the corner of the triangular landmark. I draw around this shape and follow the contour of the cylinder. From here, I find the center of the front plane. I draw across and through the form so we can see the cross-section of the pelvis from the center. This will enable us to plot the sockets of the leg a lot easier. I connect the rest of the sides of the triangular landmark. Then I begin to draw in the sockets of the leg. From here, I slot in the cylindrical shape of the legs like we did earlier. I am keeping in mind the general perspective of this pelvis as I draw in the legs. So the front leg will be slightly longer and wider, while the one behind will be slightly thinner and smaller as it recedes from space. As I lay in the clean line work, notice that I plot an extra shape behind the legs. This is the form change between the legs and the gluteus maximus. Alright, onto the final angle, the back 3/4 view. I find the corner of the pelvis, as well as the center line of the pelvis. Then I draw through the bowl shape using an ellipse to form the bottom of the cylinder shape we talked about. After creating the underwear shape, I'm able to slot in the cylindrical shape of the legs, as well as indicate the glutes. By the way, this is an added bonus, but for the backside I draw this shape to indicate where the two plates of the pelvis meet. From here I lay in the line work and the shape of the backside. I like to draw in the back socket of the leg to indicate where the forms of the leg change to the backside. An easy way to think about it is think of a swimsuit wrapping around the forms of the leg. I make some minor adjustments and we're just about done. And that is how we construct the pelvis from these 4 different angles. Though we only covered 4 different angles, these are the essential ones. As long as you understand the basic form of the pelvis and how to construct the underwear shape properly, we can use the same concepts in our demo to draw the pelvis from pretty much any other angle. If you want the step-by-step notes for this video, along with some extra tips, I compiled the PDF that acts as a companion to this video. It's completely free. The link is in the description. And if you found this video helpful, subscribing helps me keep building out this entire library of drawing and art mindset videos. I'm Nozuki, and thank you for watching.